Liberty Media confirms Lewis Hamilton's interest in buying a MotoGP team, reportedly Gresini Racing. Marc Marquez opens up about how serious injury changed his approach to MotoGP due to frequent crashes. Let's discuss. Watch until the end. Marc Marquez recently opened up about the intense physical challenges he has faced since his devastating crash at the 2020 Spanish Grand Prix, which left him with a serious fracture in his right arm. The injury, which required 3 surgeries to correct, was a pivotal moment in his career and kept the 8-time MotoGP world champion out of action for the remainder of the 2020 season. When Marquez made his highly anticipated return to the grid in 2021, his recovery was far from complete, as his arm remained 30 degrees out of rotation. This ongoing issue required a 4th surgery in 2022, marking yet another hurdle in his quest to return to full strength. Now, 4 years after that fateful crash, Marquez is still dealing with the physical aftermath. While his arm no longer appears to be hampering his performance on the track, Marquez admits that maintaining his fitness has become significantly more difficult compared to his prime years. Between 2013 and 2019, the Spaniard dominated the sport, winning 6 world titles with a combination of raw talent and what he described as less effort compared to today. However, the physical demands have increased exponentially for Marquez since his injuries, requiring him to work twice as hard just to stay competitive in the ultra-competitive world of MotoGP. After securing his 2nd Grand Prix win of the 2024 season at the San Marino GP, Marquez reflected on his current condition. Now it's much more difficult to be competitive, he admitted. Until 2019, 2020, I was fast, strong, and didn't have to work as hard at home. Everything just came easier for me back then, but with his body having gone through such a drastic transformation post-injury, Marquez now finds himself dedicating significantly more time and effort to his physical preparation. He continued, "After everything that happened with my body, I have to work twice as hard now. I spend more time in physiotherapy and undergoing various treatments, but that's what it takes if I want to stay at the top level in MotoGP." Despite the increased effort required to stay in peak form, Marquez has no intention of slowing down. "I'm ready to do it. It's true that I need more time to get my body ready, but that's part of my job now. If I'm racing, it's because I'm still capable of doing it." One of the key factors in Marquez's decision to leave Honda at the end of the 2023 season was the growing frustration he felt over the lack of competitive machinery provided by HRC. While Marquez was putting in the work to regain his physical fitness, he felt that Honda wasn't giving him the tools necessary to compete at the highest level. His move to Gresini Racing, where he's been riding a year-old Ducati, was a calculated decision to see if he could still be competitive in the MotoGP field. And as the results from the 2024 season have shown, Marquez is far from being a fading star. Mentally, Marquez says he's stronger than ever, even though the physical toll on his body remains a constant challenge. "Physically, I'm worse than I was in 2019, he confessed. "Back then, my body was in good shape and I didn't need to work as hard off the track. But now, while my body is good enough to fight at the top level, I have to put in a lot more effort at home. But mentally, I'm feeling stronger and stronger every day." The 2024 season has provided Marquez with the confidence he needed, especially after strong performances at tracks like Aragon, the Red Bull Ring, and San Marino. "Aragon has always been a good track for me," he said. "But what happened at Misano, leading the race and opening a gap, reminded me of what it feels like to be out front. Sometimes after everything I've been through, you forget that feeling. But today I was able to do it again, and it gave me a lot of confidence moving forward." At this point in his career, Marc Marquez has proven that despite the severe physical setbacks he's endured, he's still capable of competing at the highest level of the sport. His journey back to form has required immense dedication, both mentally and physically, and while the road has been long and grueling, Marquez remains more determined than ever to stay among MotoGP's elite. Liberty Media CEO Greg Maffei recently revealed that Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton showed interest in buying a MotoGP team following Liberty's announcement of its majority takeover of the series. In April, Liberty, which owns Formula One, confirmed a deal to acquire MotoGP for €4.2 billion, expected to finalize by the end of 2024 after receiving approval from the European Union's antitrust board. To facilitate this acquisition, Liberty sold $825 million worth of F1 shares last month. Following the announcement, Maffei noted in May that Liberty had received significant interest from manufacturers wanting to join MotoGP. There have been ongoing rumors that Hamilton, a known MotoGP enthusiast, was exploring the possibility of purchasing the Gresini racing team. However, Hamilton dismissed the rumors, stating that while he is passionate about MotoGP, he hadn't seriously considered owning a team at that point. During the Goldman Sachs Communacopia Plus Technology Conference, Maffei confirmed that Hamilton did approach Liberty after news of the MotoGP deal broke, inquiring about team ownership. "I think MotoGP is an incredibly thrilling sport," Maffei commented. "The sight of motorcycles racing at 220 miles per hour, mere inches from each other, is jaw-dropping. The overtaking is amazing, and the overall product is exciting. Unfortunately, it hasn't gained enough recognition in the US, although there's considerable interest in regions like Asia and Europe, especially Spain and Italy. But I see real potential for expansion." Maffei added, "When we announced the deal, we immediately had people reaching out, including Lewis Hamilton, expressing interest in owning a team. They saw what we did with Formula One and want to be a part of it. Major distributors also contacted us, eager to get involved. But we've had to hold off discussions until we receive EU approval. Once that happens, we'll be ready to engage." Many industry experts believe that one of Liberty's first moves after acquiring MotoGP will be to enhance the series' presence in the US. From 2008 to 2011, MotoGP had a more significant US presence compared to Formula One, even holding 3 American races in 2013. Since then, Liberty has added 3 American events to the F1 calendar, but interest in MotoGP has declined, with the US Grand Prix in Austin seeing some of the lowest attendance on the MotoGP circuit. Liberty is confident it can replicate its Formula One success with MotoGP in America. "We transformed Formula One by focusing on storytelling, humanizing the sport, and making it about more than just cars and technology. We emphasized the drivers' stories and gave fans a deeper understanding of the sport, both on and off the track. Improving the TV experience also played a big role," Maffei explained. "I think there's tremendous potential for MotoGP in the US currently. The Austin race generates relatively modest revenues from TV and other sources. I see room to grow that and perhaps even add a second US race. These opportunities feel very familiar to what we achieved with F1, and I believe we can do it again with MotoGP." Liberty's efforts to re-engage American audiences have already seen some progress in recent years. American rider Joe Roberts has made a name for himself in Moto2, while US-based Trackhouse Racing joined the MotoGP grid in 2024. Additionally, former NBA executive Dan Rossomondo was brought on as Chief Commercial Officer in 2023 to help steer MotoGP's commercial strategies moving forward. Keep warming up your engines. See you at the next race.